Yes, Ahmed, do stay with us. We have further updates from the region. The Israeli Defense Forces have issued urgent evacuation orders in Gaza City, warning residents to leave ahead of strikes on a high-rise it claims houses Hamas infrastructure. Civilians are being directed towards a designated humanitarian zone in Al-Mawasi as Israeli forces intensify operations and push deeper into the city's remaining strongholds. Let's listen in to the Israeli military spokesperson.
إعلان المنطقة الإنسانية في قطاع غزة إلى سكان مدينة غزة وكل المتواجدين فيها. يشن جيش الدفاع عملية لحسم حماس داخل مدينة غزة. فابتداء من هذه اللحظة وبهدف التسهيل على من يغادر المدينة نعلن منطقة المواسي منطقة إنسانية حيث تجرى فيها أعمال توفير خدمات إنسانية أفضل. يخصص شارع رشيد كطريق إنساني حيث وفي هذه المرحلة بالذات يمكنكم المغادرة عبره بسرعة وبالمركبات دون تفتيش. بالإضافة إلى ذلك تجرى عمل ترميم في المستشفى الأوروبي وتتخذ إجراءات إنسانية مكثفة لتمكين تقديم خدمات طبية أفضل للسكان. يا سكان غزة لا تنسعوا لمزاعم حماس فاغتنموا الفرصة للانتقال إلى المنطقة الإنسانية في وقت مبكر وانضموا إلى الآلاف الذين انتقلوا إليها بالفعل في الأيام والأسابيع.
That was the Israeli Defense Forces spokesperson there, saying that Israel has obviously issued evacuation orders in Gaza City to move, for the civilian population to move down to a humanitarian zone, as it calls it, in Al-Mawasi. Ahmed, what more can you tell us about the area of Al-Mawasi? Is it, as Israel calls it, is it a humanitarian zone?
There is no safe zone in Gaza. There's no humanitarian zone in Gaza. There's no food in Gaza. What the IDF spokesperson says is only mere lies. The Al-Mawasi has been targeted several times, and we have witnesses, and we have evidence, and we have videos. They are not restraining their military to any place or location on Gaza. They are targeting everything, and they are preventing humanitarian aid, as you know, and as everybody know by now. So these claims are false, and we have to take into consideration what Netanyahu just said yesterday, that he wants the Palestinian people to immigrate, which is actually to ethnic cleanse them, and blaming Egypt and the Arab neighbors for not accepting immigration. The Arab neighbors are stopping this crime, and when we look at the process of the Israeli military offense in Gaza, we find that this comes hand in hand in an aim for the ethnic cleansing of the Gaza, and we have to also take into consideration the greater Israel plan. The grand imagery, the grand picture that they are going after the ethnic cleansing. This has nothing to do with Hamas. These are false claims. They want to remove all towers in Gaza, claiming this is Hamas. So now everything Israel do claim, and the world is just going to say, okay, continue. They want to bomb hospitals, schools, kindergartens, anything, and this is will be somehow in this age accepted. Of course, these are lies and mere lies. Israel is aiming for an end of the Palestinian state and to erase the Palestinian state as said by the government, by the finance minister, by the settlements minister, by the prime minister. I don't know how many ministers are required to speak about genocide in order for the world to take action. Hamas is not the actual target here. The actual target is the Palestinian people. And aid must be continued in order for the humanitarian agencies to come to its work.
Ahmed, do stay with us. You are discussing further updates from the ongoing crisis. We have some more information for the viewers. According to reports, Israeli forces have been carrying out an offensive on the suburbs of the northern city for weeks after the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordered the military to capture it. The Israeli military said that the Gaza residents to flee to the humanitarian zone in the south ahead of a planned offensive to capture the territory's largest urban centre. The assault threatens to displace hundreds of thousands of Palestinians sheltering there from nearly 2 years of fighting. Let's listen to some people on the ground.
المناشير نزلة يعني بدهم إيانا ننزح، ليش ننزح؟ طب ما هو المكان ضرب، هان ضرب وفي الجنوب ضرب، الشهداء هان وشهداء هناك، يعني على الفاضي بس بنتعب حالنا وايجارات، من وين نجيب ايجارات؟ من وين نجيب سيارات؟ مش موجود هذا كله، مش قادرين نطلع، احنا خلص احنا من الموت هنا مش طالعين. تعبنا احنا تعبنا، سرحنا قبل هيك على الجنوب ورحنا هناك برضه، هناك كان شهداء وقصف، وين ما نروح قصف هناك، ومن منطقه لمنطقه، من رفح لخان يونس، من خان يونس للدير، وين ما كان في قصف كان، وعوان هو احنا هنا، هي القصه، هي على الفاضي خلاص.
منشور بدا الجيش الاحتلال انه في منطقه انسانيه امنه في الجنوب، واحنا بنحكي انه فيش منطقه انسانيه في غزه، كل منطقه خطر، واحنا موجودين بغزه اسرائيل من المدينه حتى لو
والله تعبنا يا الله. انا بوصلها للبيت الابيض، للامريكان، للي بيبعثوا اسلحه تقتل الاطفال والنساء، بقول لهم اتقوا الله بشعب غزه، اتقوا الله في غزه، تعبنا واحنا كل يوم ندفن احباب، اطفال اتقدمت كثير، لا اب ولا ام. ندائي للشعب الامريكي، اذا عندك ذره انسانيه، إذا عندك ذرة إنسانية وعطف إلى الأطفال والنساء، انظروا إلى شعب غزة، انظروا إلى شعب العالم. وينكم يا عرب؟ يا أمريكا، أليس لديكم أطفال؟ أليس لديكم أبناء؟ نحن أطفالنا تقتل وتباد، نحن نباد.
We have some more updates now. Egypt has dismissed Israel's claims of voluntary Palestinian displacement. Foreign Minister Badr al-Balati has called it, quote, nonsense, saying famine and pressure are being used to drive Gazans from their land. His remarks came as Israeli forces pushed deeper into Gaza City, urging civilians to move south. Al-Balati, speaking alongside the UNRWA chief, Philip Lanzini, blamed Israel's intransiege for delaying a ceasefire deal. Badr al-Balati also added that he spoke with US envoy Steve Witkoff to push mediation forward. Let's have a look at what he said.
إذا كان كما ذكر السيد لازاريني أن هناك مجاعة من صنع الاحتلال ومن صنع البشر، فهذا لدفع السكان للخروج من أرضهم. هذا لا هراء أن نقول أن هناك تهجير طوعي. لا، الشعب الفلسطيني يتمسك بأرضه ويتمسك بترابه الوطني ولا يرغب في أن يغادر أرضه. ولماذا يغادر؟ اتصال مطول بالأمس، مساء أمس، بعد عودتي من قبرص مع السيد ستيف ويتكوف المبعوث الأمريكي، وتحدثنا عن أن المقترح الأمريكي هو المقترح القائم حاليا والذي توافقت عليه حركة حماس والفصائل الفلسطينية، ويتعين العمل وتكثيف الجهود على تنفيذ هذا المقترح بأسرع وقت ممكن.
We're once again joined by Ahmed Fatwa to discuss this further. Ahmed, your thoughts on Egyptian mediation efforts during this conflict? Of course, they are joined by Qatar and the United States as well. How have you thought of their negotiations during this nearly 2-year conflict now?
Egypt is trying its best to broker peace and to stop this genocide and stop the Israeli criminality in Palestine and their schemes of forcefully displacing the Palestinian people in the south, in Gaza, and their annexation in the north and the West Bank. So Egypt is well aware and well prepared to face these schemes that is being announced by the Israeli occupation, by its government, by its army, by all the analysis that we have on the ground. Israel is aiming to use starvation and to use Hamas as an excuse to push the people from the north of Gaza into the south of Gaza and to push them into the borders of Rafah, into the Sinai Desert, which further will be used as an excuse to invade Israel. This is the scheme of the occupation. And the annexation plan in the West Bank has nothing to do with Hamas, but somehow it has been, passed by the government to reveal to the entire world that Israeli plan is colonizing Palestine. Their efforts now is to stop this madness, to stop this genocide. And as you hear the messages and the, outcries by the Palestinian people in Gaza. This is heart-wrenching, and the world need to act. There is a supremacist regime that is dealing with the Palestinians as human animals. They said in the very beginning of this genocide. And now the world is required and is demanding to act. Israel is violating the international law, is violating the humanitarian law. Now, where is the world to stop that? Now, Egypt and the Arabs and Qatar are trying to pressure the United States to stop its unconditional support for Israel. And this impunity that is given to a criminal government. And also inside Israel, we have to look at the demonstrations by the Israeli and the families of the hostages that are against Israel, persons who say just 2 days ago that Netanyahu is going to an endless war and he does not care about the hostages. These evidence on the ground, all these statements, all these declarations has to print an image into the world to be careful and to see clearly that this is a colonial project and it is against the entire world consensus. We have to go to the two-state solution. We have to go with the peace process that will end this massacre. And we have reached a political agreement that Hamas should step down from power, and Hamas has signaled that they are accepting that. So Israel has no excuse to continue this genocide.
Ahmed Fatwa, thank you very much for joining us here on the programme. Pleasure to talk to you as always.